I'm here with head coach Wade Discher, Wasatch High School Wrestling. Coach, thanks for taking a minute before the tournament to come talk with us.
Thank you.
Coach, it's well noted that this is your final year coaching at Wasatch High School. You're stepping away, retiring after a great career. Is there any difference going into this year's state tournament knowing that this is your final year, or is it just kind of business as usual for you?
Great question. I try to approach it like it's any other.
Please report to Michelle here at the head table.
Yeah, you end up when you're time alone, you kind of reflect on it. It's a bit more.
Yeah, and I think everyone feels that a little bit around here because you're a great coach, not just because of the success, but for all the things that you do that people don't see. You've got great young men out here. They work hard. They go about it the right way. And so I want to give you a chance to maybe talk about some of these young men coming into this tournament. We spoke with you shortly after the divisional where you qualified a lot of wrestlers, and it seemed like you were pretty pleased with how these wrestlers did qualify for the state tournament. Was that an overachieving team that you saw at the divisionals, or what were your impressions of that tournament?
The impressions was our team was finally together. We've had a lot of injuries this year, and kids, that wrestled last spring into the summer. We had some injuries that were lingering. They had a shoulder surgery, a couple knee surgeries, and these kids were starting to finally get back in the lineup in January. And it was really good to see all of our kids go out and fight. And I felt that was the best we've wrestled up to that point. I'm optimistic here that we're going to come out with that same fire, but even wrestle better.
Well, you qualified a lot of wrestlers for the state tournament. Felt like there were a lot of great ones and some notable names that people are familiar with, like Ryder Robinson, Audie Kelly, those guys that have been at the top of their rankings in their weight class all year. But you had some guys like Quinn Richens that wrestled fantastic that hasn't been at the top of the weight class. A guy like Hank Hansen who's been excellent, but he wasn't ranked going in and he ended up winning the divisionals. Who were some of the wrestlers that stood out to you specifically from that tournament?
Those kids that you mentioned, but you look at like a Ryder Christensen who's he's back in our program. He's had a couple two-year hiatus and wrestled some, but he wasn't part of a family, a group that he's grew up with. Now he's back and he's actually wrestling really well. He ended up taking second. A kid like Patrick Weiniger, who's, he was with us for a bit, and then, COVID kind of, I don't want to say derailed, but kind of sent kids in another direction a little bit for a while. And he's back, and throughout the season, he's continued to make more and more progress. And I expect to see the best out of him today. I think he's going to surprise some people. Keith Cragen, another one, just been solid all year long, but he's coming into his own. Our 2 6-pounders, Gage Anderson, who's relatively new to the sport, been wrestling for 2 years. And he is just keeps on maturing as a wrestler, and his confidence keeps growing, and he's become one of those elite lightweight wrestlers. And then his teammate Farrell Berman, who had a car accident right before the season starts. He ends up with a fractured skull. He can't wrestle until after Christmas, but now he's right up there too. And he won a tournament a couple weeks ago, the South Summit tournament, beating a pretty tough kid out of South Summit in the finals. And I expect a lot out of him. He's one of those kids that can surprise people and pin anybody in a lot of positions. And our big guys, Austin McNaughton, he's getting better and better. So that it's been a year of growth, and I think the kids have approached it that way too. And they've really I think they feel really good about where they're at right now.
You mentioned some injuries, and it seems like your team's had to battle through a lot of injuries this year. Austin Kelly had a shoulder issue. Hank Hansen had some lower body issues. I wasn't even aware of Farrell that's something that he was dealing with. Is the team pretty much healthy coming into the state tournament, or are there other injuries that you're looking at that you're a little concerned about?
You know what? Our training room was quiet this week, which is awesome. And all the kids are healthy. Even like a Bryson Lloyd has been dealing with a chronic shoulder injury for the last 2 years, and he's just kind of, I don't want to say it, he's kind of, before it was affecting him, it was affecting his even his mannerisms a bit, and then he's gotten over that stuff, and which is really good to see. And so where we're at right now, no, we're good. I'm excited.
Well, I kind of want to lead into this then, Coach. The state tournament, I'm fairly new to the wrestling world. You've been doing this your whole life. For me, it's been something I've learned over the last few years. And it seems like there's nothing quite like the state wrestling tournament. It is so much fun. It's so entertaining. What's it like being down there as a coach as well as a wrestler? It's got to be a little bit of a different vibe than your duels or the tournaments that you go throughout the course of the year. What's it like during the state tournament?
Yeah, it's totally different. And it's not necessarily totally different, but you have a bit more of an excitement and energy, and a lot of crazy things happen here. And if kids can just stay calm, and the coaches stay calm, and we just stay in the moment, it becomes pretty special. When kids go out there tight, stressed, and all that, it becomes kind of an icky, not a good situation for anybody. And the kids, eventually just mentally, kind of go through it a bit. And we've seen that. I know that we've seen that a couple times in the years past. But this team it's a tight team, and they're going to be fighting for each other. And we've had a great week of practice, and the kids are. We don't have, they got clear hearts, and they're good to go.
Coach, one thing that we like at this tournament is you have a tradition that the team bleaches their hair, and it's easy for us to spot them. Notice a new member of the hair bleaching this year was yourself. Usually you don't have the blonde locks going on. The players convince you, it sounds like, or is this something you were planning on doing all along?
No, they, every year they tease me and want, you should bleach your hair, blah, 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 and I always throw, some unattainable goal out there for them to eventually try to overcome, and I've actually bleached my hair. I think this might be my third time, maybe my fourth. Did it in the 99-2000 season, my third year at Wasatch, and the team won, and that was when the blonde bleaching of hair kind of started. You had Slim Shady, all that stuff, and the kids are like, if we win Reno, can you bleach your hair? I'll bleach my hair. That'd be awesome. We won Reno, bleach my hair. So I actually had blonde hair when I should have stayed term. That's the only other time. Otherwise, I did it probably about 5-6 years ago. We had a really tremendous performance, and we had some goals, and they reached them. And I did it after the season. But this was, a 52-year-old guy or 51, almost 52-year-old guy's like, it's my last time. Why not? Right? Let's let it fly. Let the kids see that. They didn't convince me of anything. I kind of teased that. Yeah, I'm going to come in Monday with my hair bleached, whatever. And sure enough, my daughter, she's in training for cosmetology school, and so I got some free perks there. We had to do a little Excel time in intervention but we got it worked out. It looks pretty good.
Got everyone all taken care of over there. It does look good, Coach. Coach, best of luck in the tournament, and feel like I'm speaking for a lot of people when I say it's been so much fun to watch you over the course of the last several decades. Just a legend in every sense of the word here, and we hope you have a great state tournament here. Things go well, and that's kind of what I want to get you out of here on. A successful state tournament for Wasatch this year is what, according to Coach Wade Discher?
A successful state tournament, these kids just let it fly.
Coach, best of luck this year. We're looking for a successful tournament. We anticipate that your guys will come out and wrestle well, and appreciate all that you've done for Wasatch High School Wrestling.
Thank you.